It is finally here, guys. It is finally here. I got it edited. All right, we're gonna get straight to it. I just wanted to make a quick comment. Thank you all for all the love, the support, the patience that's been going down. There's been a. I literally took this video to the editing table and did it all by hand. Okay, because I wanted to make sure that some AI didn't end up messing up certain moments or deleting something that I didn't want it deleted. So this was an hour long. I cut it down. Well, it's not an hour. I lie. About 45, 47 minutes. With the time that I have for home work and things that I need to be able to do, it took me a significant time to be able to get this done. I hope it's well. I do want to thank y'all one more time for the patience, the love, and the support. Thank you, Josh Martin, for allowing me to be able to sit down with you and get to know you a little bit better. For the Shellheads, for the community, for the Dragon Ball Z fans, from the Barney fans. But we're going to get into all that right now. Don't forget to check out all the additional social media down below. Don't forget to follow, share, and this episode will be coming on rss.com and Spotify. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. Oh, I'm excited. Y'all be safe. Oh, God, I love being a... What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Del's Den, as we are here with a very special guest individual. He came to San Antonio not too long ago, and let's go ahead and get you to introduce yourself, man.
What's up? It's your boy Josh Martin. You probably know me best as the voice of Majin Buu from Dragon Ball Z, Kid Buu, Fat Buu, and Evil Buu. Dragon Ball, I was Commander Red, and I wore a big purple dinosaur costume way back in the day,
Oh, and I
amongst
was...
other things.
Yeah, you've done so much. You know, we were kind of briefly talking about that. It's been, what, practically 30 years since your voice acting started and since the career that you went down this path. How are you feeling? 30 years.
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling real good, thank you. Yeah, I'm pretty fortunate, right? I'm still here, still in the game.
Right. What's the journey been like? Like from the time that you
Wow.
first started,
Yeah.
like what made you want to get into voice acting, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, I just wanted to be an actor.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, growing up watching cartoons like Bugs Bunny and Scooby Doo, Animaniacs,
Mm-hmm.
G.I. Joe, Transformers, things like that. I was a fan of those, and I imitated some of those voices, some commercials like Pillsbury Doughboy
Mm-hmm.
and other things. So that was always an interest. But boy, I grew up in Halton, Louisiana, and that was just not a possibility it wasn't on my radar. I didn't know anybody in the business. I didn't know how to get into the business. And so it was just kind of like a dream, to be an actor, much less do
Mm-hmm.
cartoon voices
Right.
as I thought about it. And then I was in college. I graduated high school in '93, and then I went to college in LSU Shreveport, and I was playing soccer. Uh, I'd played since I was 4 years old. I got my knee trashed,
Oh.
and I was paying for my school. I was
Mm-hmm.
working. I was living at home. Everybody I went to school with, I knew most everybody. I just decided that I was going to take that leap for better or worse. Oddly enough, I just gave the first day orientation speech at my acting school,
Wow.
like last week.
Wow.
last, yeah, right.
Congrats.
So
Congrats.
yeah, thank you. It was fun.
A whole
Yeah,
new
looking back,
generation.
boy.
A whole new generation you got
Yeah,
to
huh?
introduce, man. That's pretty dope.
It was wild to have people even know what I had done, to be standing there talking about it, much less having been through it. But man, I was overwhelmed. I was a young country boy. I'd never been on my own. I wasn't even 19 yet when I moved over here. I was learning how to be responsible, work, and go to school, and I did not do any of that very well at all. uh, I didn't keep jobs very well. I didn't go to school very well.
Can relate.
Um,
Can relate.
right? I mean, but as the adults that were watching me stumble and struggle. Boy, it wasn't anything that they hadn't seen before.
Hmm.
But you know what they did tell me that they did see out of me is that I just didn't stop. You know, no matter what, even to my own detriment, right? Even when I didn't go to school, and that could have been an easy enough thing to do. Be present,
Hmm.
number one.
Where did that
Be
drive come
present.
from?
I don't know. I just felt like it's in me. That's what I'm best at doing. Now it's taken me longer in maturity to figure out different ways to use those
Hmm.
talents and skills in more than just one way. If I had to rely on just voiceover to pay my bills
Hmm.
or to support my family, I would have a problem. So I got to do a lot of different things and keep my hustle, but it's what I got to do. And the universe has told me I don't do very well at a lot of other things. I don't do well at
Hmm.
taking orders. I don't do good at showing up to things that I don't want to do. You can go back and look at my classes that I did show up for. They were the classes that I enjoyed, the camera classes, the scene work classes with the teachers that I liked, the on camera audition technique. You know, I
Hmm.
was, I was all for that. But part of this college, part of the accreditation was you
Hmm.
had to take an English, you had to take psychology, biology, and I was just like, oh no, I just want to act. I wasn't mature enough at the time to understand the whole package. You got to do the whole package.
Hmm.
At the end of the day, I was just stubborn. I just had to keep doing it, and luckily I did.
Kind of backtracking at the beginning, you stated that you also played soccer.
Yes.
Do you remember what position you were in?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I started out as a center, as
A
center
center.
forward, and
Same.
then
Same.
I moved to midfield right before my 13th birthday,
Hmm.
and then we moved to Halton, Louisiana from Mississippi.
Hmm.
It was just a real quick move to Mississippi, but when we moved back, the team needed a goalkeeper.
Hmm.
And so everybody had to take shots in the goal. And I stopped all of mine. And so from then on, I was a goalkeeper.
There you go.
I played goalkeeper from 13 till 18. At 16, I got on a select team finally. I
Hmm.
got serious. I went to a soccer camp, honed some of my skills, and so I got on that. I was either going to play goalkeeper someplace for SMU, and/or I thought I could maybe finesse a double team sport and kick the football because I did that in high school.
Mm, okay. Okay.
In addition to running track,
You're a jack of all trades. Now,
a
master
little
to
bit
none.
master of none,
Master
master
of
of none.
none.
That's it.
Lately I've been meeting a lot of individuals just like myself. We can do great at a lot of things, but at least for myself, I could never just master one. I think doing this has definitely given me some type of insight to what I actually want to do and what I want to kind of master. So, and what
There
you
you go.
do, a lot of voice acting, but at the same time, you did end up playing, like you stated, a big old giant purple dinosaur for a significant amount
Yeah,
of time. I
I
mean,
did.
what was that like being able to reach the kids and making a difference in their lives? What was that bringing that character to life?
You can't measure that. That's the intangible. It made it worth wearing 50 pounds of fleece and foam and metal and all kind of gears on your shoulders, 120 degrees,
That's crazy.
doing choreography on a big 40-foot stage in arenas all over the world. Just to add to the point, when I got the audition, I just graduated acting school.
Ah.
I was in a comedy troupe that we had, organized with all of different guys in the school and other friends that we had met. Chris Raker was one of them.
Mhm.
Mike McFarland was another one of them. All of our humor was really our X-rated, really, honestly, as rude and crude as we could get. Our audience was SMU college kids. They heckled us. I mean, everybody else there were plenty of other improv troupes and things. They were all perfect. They did all the rules great. They had clean material, improv, sketch, music, comedy. And by the time the Barney audition came around, I thought that that's what I'd be on SNL somewhere, or on tour
Right.
doing doing crazy comedy in clubs. So I told the teacher who told me about the audition that I didn't want to do it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. And that's why I told her I didn't want to do it because I didn't think they'd want me, and I didn't really think that I'd fit in that
Hmm.
bit all through school. She was one of those adults that was watching me stumble and bumble. She gave me that mom side eye. She goes, "I think you need to do this."
I think you
And she was so great to me during school. She helped me out.
really supporting you. Really supporting
Hindsight,
you.
absolutely, both morally and physically, financially. She could see it, and she saw something inside of me as well, and to be worth giving me that little extra boost. Bless her,
Right.
bless her
Right.
for
I mean, doing any type of improving in those types of suits, it does take a lot. I can feel that because back in the day when I used to work at Chuck E. Cheese, they needed somebody to be able to be the mouse. And it was because I got the kids active and going and they were really excited, like, oh, he's alive. And it was just such a good moment to be able to make other people happy, other kids happy, especially thinking imagination wise.
history dictates that I did book the part, right? I was enticed because it was a world tour. All of a sudden, they were going to pay me. At the time, I was poor and homeless, and I needed the money and a
Starting
place to
out,
live.
yeah, I got that.
Right, totally. So every tour, every city we did on that tour, we also went to Barney,
Mm-hmm.
visited the children's hospital.
Oh,
And
man.
so Barney did a sing along in the lobby of every hospital, and all the kids that could come down, family, could come down from their rooms to do a sing along. And then the kids that couldn't come down but wanted to visit, I would go up to each room and we do a little meet and greet and photo op. That's
Mm-hmm.
that's when the light bulb goes off and you realize, oh, that's what this is. That's what Barney's doing, right? Yeah,
Right.
right. There were more than
Mm-hmm.
I would like to think about that were not going to leave those rooms that I went into,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
At least not
That's
the way they came in. So all of a sudden, I had just turned 21 when I booked the gig. So now all of a sudden, the 21-year-old punk kid who didn't want to do this Barney, you know, job, boy, it all came into focus, and I realized this was bigger than me. This is bigger than just a purple dinosaur, and this is more than just a weird, annoying kids show on PBS that I passed by. You know, changing through the dials. This is something major, and I got to be a part of it.
thanks,
It's
man. Thanks for
crazy.
what
I
you
mean, there
did.
were yeah, thank you. I'm blessed to be a part of it. It was a good thing I had that costume on a lot of times. The human inside was having a hard time being strong
Right.
for those kids, but at the same time, Barney was there. He was brightening their day. Some of these kids were literally hating life. You know what I mean? They were just not having a good time, and they would smile. You'd have parents kind of freak out because they'd never talked before,
Right.
and all of a sudden Barney walks in and they talk, so all of a sudden you're a part of this amazing event in a family's life, and all I can do is just make the purple one be there. You know what
What's
I
that?
mean?
What is it? It's a core memory. It's a core memory. It's going to be something that's
Yes,
just very magical for them. Very
every
magical.
time. Every time. Yes, sir.
Now, again, you did Barney for some time, but when did you find your voice when it come to voice acting? Ooh.
Wow. Well, nice segue. Like I said, I grew up on the cartoons, and I loved cartoons before there was anime, or at least
Mm-hmm.
not widespread in America like it is now, not easily accessible as it is, right? I just had an ear. I can sing as
Mm-hmm.
well. I was in choir growing up. I have a pretty good ear. I can sing harmony pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And so all of a sudden, I would just hear voices, and next thing you know, I'm doing Pee Wee Herman. I'm doing Scooby Doo. I'm doing Shaggy. I'm doing Pillsbury Doughboy. I'm doing, Snagglepuss.
Mm-hmm.
Doing all of them, and it's just something I just did,
Right.
you know. And so, I guess to answer your point, the only way that I found my voice in the sense that you're asking, as far as voiceover work, is I came off the road. I'd done 3 years on Barney, right? But I was
Mm-hmm.
still able to continue to do special events until '09.
Okay.
I got off the road in '99. and hooked back up with Chris Rager and Mike McFarlane. Mike figured out and was a fan of Dragon Ball Z already. He was a fan of anime and some of those things. And then
Mm-hmm.
he discovered it was a newly acquired property. This
Mm-hmm.
small little company was dubbing it right around the corner from where we were living and performing. And he got a part. He got a part as Master Roshi. When he comes to the show one night, tells us about it. Rager, in his ever loving self, says, "You got a part? They'll give me a part." Sure enough, he went and got his part as Mr. Satan, and
Mr. Satan.
here, that's it. Oh yeah,
Oh
light speed tricks.
yeah.
Yeah. So Mike McFarlane and Chris Rager, invited Chris Sabat and some other people that they
Yeah.
knew from Funimation at the time to come and see our comedy show. And they saw me do my character called the Pillsbury Homeboy.
Okay. What is that?
And so that was a gangster rapping Pillsbury Doughboy. Right. The backstory was that the Pillsbury Doughboy gets jumped by a gang of Keebler elves on his way home from school one day. They beat him up and he gets triggered. He goes home and he starts listening to gangster rap and smoking weed and just getting into all kind of problems, getting into trouble. So here, I'll do
Living
it
his
for you.
life. Living his life.
Right. So instead of nothing says loving like my crescent rolls, it turned in, he gets all beat up and he turns into nothing says loving like the blood I be popping. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
I redid, I don't know if you're familiar with Snoop Doggy Dogg. I redid his song, What's My Name? His classic.
No.
Snoop Doggy Dogg. Except mine was Pillsbury Homeboy. What's my muffin bacon name?
Ridiculous.
Yeah,
It's hilarious, man.
Thank you.
Oh my god.
So yeah, after the show, Sabat comes up to me and he
Oh.
goes, "Hey, what are you doing tomorrow?" I said, "I don't know. What's up?" He goes,
Oh.
"I think I found the voice of Majin Buu." I go, "Oh, okay." He goes, "Come to the studio. Come to the studio tomorrow." He gave me the 411 in like 3 minutes, and then he said, "Here, let's watch it." All right, you think you can do it? I'm like, yeah, let's go. Boom, and I've been doing it since 2000.
Wow.
Been doing it since then. Yeah.
Now for Majin Buu specifically,
Yeah.
did you give a sample or was it just Majin Buu what we see today?
That is it.
Wow. Wow.
The original broadcast.
So when you mean
Man,
original, you mean original.
The original American, not the Canadian, not the Ocean
Right.
dub.
Right.
And actually, they stopped in Canada before they got to the Busog. All of the American dubs were after I did it. Since it came out of Funimation, it's been me.
Wow.
And knock
Wow.
on wood, I hadn't made nobody mad yet. At least not mad enough to kick me out.
I gotcha. Well, I mean,
Right?
now I was getting more familiar, a little bit more of your work. Again, it's been a while, like I had mentioned before. Now, weren't you
Right.
also Android 15?
That's right. Break yourself, Goku.
Oh my god. I
Yeah.
love Android 15 so much. I can't believe you did Android 15. That was such a good
Yeah.
movie. It is one of the underrated Dragon Ball Z films. Like I loved all the side films. 13 was definitely the most fun. And you playing 15 just makes it so much more better.
Well, I had a good time. I know that maybe in 2024 it could be a little sensitive. I don't think he was originally purple in Japan. I was trying to do my ode and be respectful of all of the pimps and players that I grew up watching in the blaxploitation films. No disrespect at all, and I apologize if I offend anybody. But yeah, that was it. And I see this little pimp in a zoot suit, and I'm like, come on now, really? I get to do this?
And you know,
Go.
and he was chilled out the whole time. Like he didn't freak out. He was in a situation. He was nice and calm and cool. Like he was just,
Yeah. Yeah, totally, little chill, dude. I loved it, and that was at a time that I'd only done Boo, and so I didn't get to say much as those characters, right? And then all of a sudden, I got a couple of lines, and I can just do my voice.
Hmm.
It was fun. It
Now,
was fun. Yeah, thank you.
now, kind of moving, like I want to stay on Dragon Ball, but at the same time, you've done so much more. So I do want to talk a little bit about some of the side ones that you've done, like Full
Oh,
Metal
cool.
Alchemist. So you've done Full Metal Alchemist,
Yeah,
a little bit
right.
of that,
Yeah, little
uh,
Mason, little
a
Mason.
little bit of Lupin. Lupin,
Right.
yeah,
Oh, I
you.
had fun doing that. Yeah.
Uh, those side projects, whenever they come your way, like, you feel as a voice actor, somebody else is coming to you for a different type of project.
As things do, after you've done them, you
Hmm.
realize what you were doing.
Right.
At least for me, I wasn't able in the beginning to really understand what was happening, and I'm not necessarily sure most people did either, because we kind of Funimation, Chris Abbott, Justin Cook, all those guys back behind the scenes. What you're seeing and able to see
Hmm.
these days, they did that, and part of how they did that was going, hey, I've got this guy in this show, he's this and that, and here's the line. Go. I do it, and then I go wait my tables for lunch shift, and then I go and do my comedy at night, and then they call me in to do random voices, and then I bounce. And this is back before the internet was, what it is now,
Blowing up. Yep.
obviously, but
Yep.
right, but you were still having to get VHS tapes mailed to you. And that was even for Funimation production. If you were watching it before Funimation, you definitely had to get VHS mailed to you either from Japan or for some people who bootleg.
Lots of bootlegging back in the day. I remember
Yeah,
that.
right. Well, and see, I wasn't even aware of any of that. I came in the
Hmm.
2000s,
Yeah.
in the year 2000. Literally, it wasn't what it is now. As far as I knew, I didn't know what Lupin the Third was. Full met that. Oh, okay, okay. Uh, yeah. Case closed. All right. Fruits basket. What? What is that? And they don't even hold a candle to the titles today. Are you serious? That time I got reincarnated as a slime? Oh my gosh. It's a good thing these shows aren't in movie theaters or up on marquees, because they just one show would take up the whole thing.
Anime was completely different back in the day. It was completely foreign to me in understanding that Dragon Ball was technically anime. I didn't understand it. I just thought it was a cartoon on television. We look at the culture now, at least people call it a culture now, and it's
Yeah,
so huge. It's
right.
so huge. Fast forwarding a little bit more, coming back to GT though for Boo. GT was kind of like your send off because your character was going to merge with Oob, and you were basically saying goodbye to the family. What was that like, knowing that your character was kind of doing like this send off at the time?
Well, it to me it was like the third time. Fat Boo, he gets eaten by Evil Boo and
Right.
turned into Super Boo.
That's
That's
true.
twice. I lost two characters in one episode. Dude, this is my first time doing it, right? And I thought, oh, well, that was fun, right? I didn't know. I didn't know how this worked. It wasn't like you could go and look up the manga, you can figure out what the story is and all that stuff. I was thinking the actor thing. I don't want to say too much. I just want to do my job and then leave. Don't cause too many problems.
Right.
Oh, maybe I didn't work out. Maybe they didn't like me.
Ugh.
Maybe I lost,
Ugh.
right?
Right.
I don't know. Maybe they felt sorry for me and brought me back as Kid Boo, right? I don't know. You'd have to ask Chris Sabat and Justin Cook. But and then GT, and I'm like, oh wait, this is kind of like soap operas, huh? And then GT happens, and
Hmm.
about to go to Oob, and then I'm like, ah,
There we go
well,
again.
maybe he'll come back, and then I think it was that summer video game. I went, oh, we can do video games,
You said we can do video games?
right? Yeah, I didn't. That was the thing, right? That was like a brand new idea for me, and
The
I
video
mean,
games
hey,
have blown up. I mean,
well, you
it's
just said it. Whenever that first video game, and I can't even tell you what it was. Was it Tenkaichi
Tenkaichi
or Budokai?
2.
So whenever that was, all of a sudden I got to do a video game, and then from then on to today, it was about every year for a while. It felt like, but you know, back in the PS2 days. And since then, we're still doing videos. Sparking just dropped. Are you serious?
That's crazy. That's they
Right?
can tell the same story every single time and still hit its mark.
So to
But
wrap it up, GT,
right.
it hurt me. I thought, I took it personally because I like to perform. Number one, number two, I like to make money, and number three, I've grown a little attached. Yeah, got a little soft place in my heart for them. You know what I mean? I'm a little protective with those video games, and 24 years later, I've
You
learned
ain't
that
going away,
it's
man. You
bigger
ain't
than
going
me.
away.
And
You are here.
yeah,
Good stuff.
thank you.
There is a side project. I don't know if you're about it, but Boo's Candy Review. What is that about?
Yes. Oh, that was a way for me to increase my followers.
I watched the small series. Super
Yes.
interesting. I love it.
Thank you.
Cute as
Thank
hell.
you. Thank you. Thank
What?
you.
Coming back and doing that character and testing different types of candies out. Like, what was, that was fun.
Right.
That looked
Well,
fun.
thank you. It was definitely fun. It was super fun. I had a great time doing it, and it was strictly to build my followers independently because I was coming back from raising children and still
Hmm.
raising children. You never stop raising children, right? But
Nope.
I was
Nope.
providing pretty much constant care, be it from bottles to transportation to preschool to
Hmm.
blah 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 blah. And then all of a sudden, my girls, I got three girls, and they started needing me a little less. It was less. I felt less guilty leaving them alone with my wife by
Hmm.
herself. So I saw my friend Rager and Mike McFarlane and other voice actors out doing cons,
Hmm.
and I thought, oh, that'd be fun. And then I saw one announced in Shreveport, Louisiana, which is
Report? Okay.
real close to where I grew up, real close to Halton, Louisiana. And I reached out on Facebook. This is back in 2015. Reached out on Facebook and I said, "Hey, this is who I am. Do you mind if I come down and just sit and do the deal?" And he goes, "Well, sure." I mean, and I can see now where that's like, you're like, "Really? Yeah, come on." And I did. And not only did it go great, but everybody was also asking me where Mr. Satan was. So I told them that me and Mr. Satan are best friends in real life too. So I went home and I told him that everybody was asking about him and that we should do these events together.
Hmm.
And so we started independently booking ourselves on the smaller anime fests,
Right.
right?
Right.
They were more so like in the lobby of a hotel.
I remember those old days of the
Uh-huh.
anime conventions. Yeah, the old days
Right.
were definitely
Yes.
smaller. You get your own little individual
Yes.
room, not that big. Totally know what you're talking
Anime
about.
only. The voice actors would
Mm-hmm.
show up. They'd sign for like an hour or two, panels all day long, all weekend long, and doing raves at night. You know what I mean? It was just very event oriented.
It
But
is.
yeah, we were doing that independently, and fortunately, we were able to jump off there
Mm-hmm.
and make a name for ourselves there. The big cons started noticing us, but we had to do that grassroots wise, and that's when Twitter started being well, how many followers do you have,
Right.
right? Instagram started being how many followers you had. At the time, I think I had 900 or something like that, and I was like,
It was a
really, a
yeah,
million?
yeah,
And
yeah.
Rager said, you know what you should do? You should do candy reviews. And I was like, that's a good idea. And so, boom, I just started reviewing random candy. I got candy all over the house, so that wasn't a problem.
Do
So
fans
I
bring
just
you
started
candy?
doing it. Oh, they still do. Bless them. Keep it coming. Don't stop. Don't stop. I like it
now,
all.
now, doing this for so long, you know, talking about Comic Cons, going to these
Uh-huh.
cons, talking with
Yeah.
all these individuals again. It's almost like the whole Barney thing all over again. You have made a significant impression on all these individuals. Like
Yep.
that's a huge accomplishment, man.
That's crazy. And on top of it, the people know, and I have prints for Barney. So there are people that sometimes they're fans of both. Lots of
Mm-hmm.
times they're fans of both. But
Mm-hmm.
there's plenty of times where some people are walking by and they'll be like, "Wait, what's that? I wore that costume." What? And I
Look like
tell them
me.
the deal. Now, here's the next thing. I think it was 2017,
Mm-hmm.
2018, but 2017, the first time that I was out, they see the Barney thing. They asked me about it. And I say, "Well, I just did the costume. I didn't do the
Mm-hmm.
voice, but I can do it." 9 times out of 10, they turn around and run away. They are
Really?
so taken aback by the voice because remember those core memories, those sense memories, right? That voice
Mm-hmm.
just triggers something.
Mm-hmm.
And what I found is that while there were kids and hospitals having, illnesses and things like that, there were
Mm-hmm.
children at home having conflicts,
Mm-hmm.
you know, for many different reasons.
Right.
You
Right.
could just fill in the blank. And they share enough to let you know
Mm-hmm.
enough, right? But that this meant a lot, right? And bro, listen, when I was doing the hospitals, it was crazy moving. This is crazy moving too, and I ain't got a costume to hide behind anymore. You know what I mean?
I
So, but
gotcha.
that's cool. That's cool. I'm down to do it because I'm an adult. You know what I mean? I'm an old dude now, and that's all right.
And you know what it
So,
does. You know what it does. You know how it ends up helping. You know how it triggers individuals in a specific type of way. I mean, it's a big thing. And mental health for me is huge. It's huge on this channel. It's huge as Deltron's.
yeah,
You know, I always tell people, just kind of throwing this in there. This ain't no plug or anything, but I always do this whenever we talk about mental health. Don't forget, here in Texas, you can get treated for PTSD with Texas THC doctors. And of course, you can also go to goodblend.com where you can also get approved for medicinal THC here as well. Also, do not forget to go speak to your specialists about anything that may be hurting you, bothering you, because you start to feel better when you start talking about it. And
that's it.
you gotta be in a safe space. You gotta be in a safe space. Um, now,
Talk to
Josh, with
somebody. Yeah,
right,
yeah,
right.
definitely.
Uh, now, Josh, Sparking Zero is coming out.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I know that you've seen the trailers. Are you excited about the graphics? The graphics look
I
top
am.
tier.
They look good. I hope we've done some sync with the mouths, but I think that that's always going to be an issue, and I'll let that go. Other than that, the graphics look great. I can't wait to see how it turns out and see where and how they place all the things I did and how everything else works out. I got to see some of the other lines from other people, and I'm like, oh, don't get me
Nice,
wrong, especially
nice.
Rager being Boo, Mr. Satan and Boo are always next to each other.
You get to see them all the time.
Yeah, right. See, we're best friends in real life, so he just called me later and said, "What are you doing?"
Good stuff. Well, I mean, we're pretty much reaching at the end, but when it comes to this channel, I'm a bit clearly big Turtles fan. Big Turtles fan, right? Growing up with the
Cowabunga, dude. Yes,
cowabunga.
indeed.
If you had to do a voiceover for a Ninja Turtle, how would it sound? What do you think you would give that turtle?
Oh man, if my first instinct is that I've already done it as Yosaku in One Piece. He's my ode to Keanu from Bill and Ted's. But
Okay.
yeah, whoa, huh, cowabunga, dude. Huh.
Who do you
Let's
think that would
go,
be? Who do you think that would
Splinter.
be?
Huh. Which one is the more surfer dude?
Mikey?
I'm sorry. See, I'm
Michelangelo?
not as big a
No, it's
fan.
good.
Mikey.
It's
Okay,
good.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
good.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
Mikey. For sure, for
But I
sure.
also I love a good Rob Paulson. I love all of them, right? I mean,
They're great. They're great.
and from boy, Splinter and the uh
Shredder too. I mean, yes, he was the villain, but again, we rest in peace to Avery. He did such a great job as Shredder. What do you have coming up now? What can we look forward to?
wow. Well, I'm always doing more Crunchyroll stuff.
Oof.
Uh, if if they put it out, I probably died on it at least. I'm probably in the background at least going, huh?
I'm so impressed with your voices and everything that you've done. You never know what's going to be coming for your future, and I'm super excited. But if they wanted to go
Well,
and
I
follow,
appreciate it.
you're welcome, man. If they wanted to go and follow you, find you, where can they go and find you, man?
Check me out on Instagram at original ooh, all lowercase BUU. Twitter, Josh Martin voice if you're still on that cesshole. Uh, and I answer on Facebook. Hey, we're cool, all good.
Good
And
stuff.
yeah, I'm also in a Beastie Boys tribute band called Rhymin' and Stealin'. So if you're into hip hop, check that out. I
Oh,
do MCA's part.
how long you been doing
Well,
that?
I'm MCA
How long you been doing that?
since '09.
Long time, long time.
Yeah,
Another,
can you
another,
believe that?
another session, another session. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
It's
But you guys
wild.
have a fantastic day. Thank you for all the support and love. Don't forget to check out all the additional social medias down below. And Josh, thank you one more time for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me, Deltron. Thank you all for watching and listening. Stay awesome.
Peace.
God, I love being a turtle!